Hello, my loves. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to this reading for the quarter moon in Capricorn. We are going to be diving in to a little bit more of the guidance that came through for the planetary readings. So my planetary readings are monthly readings. I'm going to be changing the name of it next month with the solar move from Libra to Scorpio. They're going to be called solar readings now, which makes so much more sense and feels so much more aligned for me. I've been doing these moon readings and I'm offering these solar readings. So the solar reading, which I did for the full season of Libra, which started on the 22nd of September and goes until the 23rd of October. We drew a card that related to the star card that I have here from the Modern Mystic Tarot by Crystal Dawn Doty. And the star card was to represent this quarter moon in Capricorn. It was to be the thing with which you are wishing for the entire month, but certainly we would be working with it with this quarter moon. So if you want to know what your card was for the month of Libra, go ahead and sign up for the planetary reading. It's only $11.11 a month, and again, the name will be changing to the solar readings. They'll be accessed the same way. It'll be the exact same service. It's just going to have a new name moving forward here, as I get a little bit more in touch with really what it is and what's wanting to come through. You watch whatever reading is relevant for you and where Libra shows up in your personal chart. If you don't know how to find where Libra shows up in your chart, I made a tutorial video. Go ahead and watch that, follow the steps, and you'll now know where Libra is in your chart. If you don't have Libra in your chart, you can watch the video that's for people who don't have Libra in their chart. I actually am one of those people. I do not have Libra in any of my planets or in my ascending signs, so I am an I don't know Libra. The reason I mention all of this is because those readings are super jam-packed with information, not just the information for this quarter moon in Capricorn, but information and guidance for the entire solar month, how to navigate Mercury retrograde, which is still active until the 18th of October. So we are moving forward here, but we're still getting a little bit of Mercury retrograde fun and games as we move through this month. I believe that's all the announcements that I had for you. I really appreciate your support and watching these readings. Please feel free to share them with anyone that you think they'll resonate with. If you're new to something like this, hello, welcome in. If you are not new, hello, welcome back. What we're going to be doing today is a little bit like what we did for the new moon in Libra, which is a combination of drawing cards, reading the cards, and doing a meditation practice to allow us to dive deeper into the wisdom. The reason I'm doing these readings, the reason that I use these spiritual tools is to help guide you back to the wise, instinctive knowing within yourself. And so meditation is such an amazing practice to help guide you back to that wise, instinctive knowing. And the cards are also a really fun way to get in touch with that element that's part of the mystery of life, that's part of the unknown, that's part of the learning how to tap into your own internal guidance, your own internal wisdom, and your own way of navigating yourself through difficult times, fun times, exciting times, dream times, right? But that's what the star card talks about. It talks about wishing upon a star, having hope for the future. And we're going to draw 3 cards for each of the 3 different sets of signs, and we are going to be diving into what it is that they have to share with us. Please know that we are going to be going into a meditation practice in this reading, and so couple things about meditation before we begin. You want to be comfortable, you want to be in a place where you're not going to be disturbed, and you want to be really, really nice to yourself about it. Meditation is a practice. It's not something you are going to be an expert at right away. It takes years and years and years of practice, but don't let that discourage you from starting, from trying, from exploring, from seeing what does work, from seeing what does happen. We're using our imagination faculties when we meditate, and imagination is such a powerful gift that we have. Your imagination might be scent oriented, or it might be sound oriented, or it might be visually oriented, or it might be feeling based, or it might be any combination of these things, changing from moment to moment depending on what we're talking about. That is perfect and right, and all part of you discovering your own wise instinctive knowing within and how it shows up for you. So no judging whether or not you're able to fully see or hear or sense or smell the things that we're talking about when we're meditating. Just allow whatever you have that's bringing up to come up. Like if I'm talking about something and whatever comes up for you is perfect. Allow that to be okay. Don't try to force anything in the meditation is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, if you get distracted and you're thinking about something totally unrelated to the meditation, then that's a moment for you to, again, be very nice with yourself and notice, oh, my mind has shifted focus. I'm practicing holding my focus on one thing or a few things and exploring in my imagination center what it is that I can really call into my forefront of my focus. So if the mind wanders, that's perfectly okay. Just notice, oh, it's wandered, and then guide it back to the sound of my voice. Guide it back to the part of the exercise that we're on. With gentle love and understanding that this is just what the mind is trained to do. It's not misbehaving. It's just doing what it's programmed to do, and you are practicing bringing it back in and focusing and honing in on the one thing or the few things that we are focusing on in the meditation. So before we get started, we are going to call in the elements. I always like to do this before a reading because it really just sets the tone for the space. So if you aren't somebody who works with the elements, if you're not somebody who works with some of the energies that I work with, that's okay. The way that this works is you're going to get out of it what you put into it, and you're going to be able to put it in your own framework, in your own context. So if you talk to God, and that's your person, and you have a specific way to pray and interact with God, then I invite you to, as I set the elements, I invite you to have your own ceremonial, sacred relationship with God. If you talk to an ancestor, same thing. If you talk to the fairies, same thing. If you talk to goddesses, same thing. If you talk to Source or your higher self, or you just want to allow me to call in the elements, all of this is perfect and right. These readings are meant to be for you to really customize in a way that supports you and works for you. So we are going to call in the elements. You can do this yourself, or you can just allow me to do this for you, or you can call on any energies that you work with. I always call on, for our readings, God, Goddess, angels, guardians, ancestors, fairies, star family, mythological creatures, Source, and our higher selves. I ask that this reading and this meditation be aligned with my highest good, your highest good, and the highest good of all. As we call in fire and we activate the transformative flame, we honor this element and its ability to bring light into the darkness and to transform one form into another. It's ruled by the direction of the south, and the fire signs of the zodiac are the Aries, the Leos, and the Sagittarians. We call upon air. The element of air is uplifting, helps for clear communication. And it's ruled by the direction of the east. The air signs of the zodiac are the Geminis, the Libras, happy birthday Libras, and the Aquarians. We call upon and activate the element of earth. Earth represents the material aspect of our lives. It helps to keep us grounded in our readings. It helps us to know the physical, material steps that we need to take. And it helps us to transform our physical world. Earth is ruled by the direction of the north, and the earth signs of the zodiac are the Tauruses, the Virgos, and the Capricorns. Last but not least, we'll call on the element of water. Water represents our emotions. Water is the element of memory, and it helps us to move in a fluid way in our lives. Water is ruled by the direction of the west, and the water signs of the zodiac are the Cancers, the Scorpios, and the Pisces. And we are going to jump into the reading for the first signs of the zodiac. The first signs of the zodiac are the Aries, Tauruses, Geminis, and Cancers. We're going to find out these 3 cards that really want to come in through our meditation process to help us achieve this star energy. So we are going to draw the cards now. So just set the intention, whatever it is that you're hoping and dreaming on, especially around the quarter moon in Capricorn, which is on the 12th of October. It's a Tuesday. All right, just allowing yourself to tap into the dream hope energy as we pull 3 cards. All right, what are the 3 meditation cards for? There's 1. My first signs of the zodiac, that's 2. Okay, those are the 3 cards. I love it. I love it. Yes, 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 first signs of the zodiac. You got it going on with this dreaming energy. Okay, so let's dive into these cards. King of Water, harnessed spiritual gifts, stability, wise, supportive, acting from controlled emotion rather than instinct. So here he is. Give a good look at him and his energy. So the King of Water to me is this like spiritual guru guy, but he's more of just like his spiritual practice is on point. He really is aware of all of the things that take him out of his own power, and he has practices to help get him back into his body, back into his creative, dreaming, spiritual nature. So this is about harnessing the gifts and the tools that you have accessible to you spiritually, whether that's through prayer, whether that's through working with gemstones, whether that's through doing your own card readings, whether that's through going to church, whether that's through doing yoga, or any combination of these things or more. Journaling, reading a book, lighting a candle, having some tea. All of these different practices that we have, as long as it brings you back to the wise instinctive knowing within yourself, that's really to me what the King of Water is about. He has really learned how to, on a continual basis, be in touch with the wise instinctive knowing within himself. So he's working from his intuition rather than his instincts. And I call it the wise instinctive knowing within, but the wise instinctive knowing within is more of your intuition than the egoic instinct of responding to things without really thinking about how it would be best for you to respond or best for the other person for you to respond, or if it aligns with your belief system and what you want to see in the world. You're just responding rather than like allowing those things to filter through and then responding through love and responding through compassion and responding through understanding rather than responding through fear or shame or guilt or judgment. So this is the energy, one of the energies that we're going to be working with in our meditation. I love it. The next card is the Emperor card. Logic, using common sense, consistency, leadership, and organization. Look at this guy. He is the He is the steward of his own empire, and he is in command of it. He's leading it. He is in charge. He is the emperor of the empire. And this energy is really about using your logic, organization, and so it's almost like the practical nature of the King of Water, right? The King of Water is using the spiritual nature, and this Emperor is using like this logical, common sense, practical energy to rule his empire and steward his empire. You know, like the more and more that you are aware of this empire that you have, because you do have an empire, whether you think you do or not, even if it's just one room in a house that you have to yourself, that's your empire. Or whether it's, you know, an entire community of people that you are helping to steward, or whether it's, you know, bigger than that, an entire, like, employees or family members, or whatever your empire is. This is command over it. This is being a leader in that, helping to lead by example, helping to see that you have this command over all that you are entrusted with, right? You are entrusted with the things that I call it stewarding, with the things that you steward, with the things that you take care of, with the things that you are leading. So we're going to bring this leadership energy into this meditation. And then the 10 of Earth, a happy family life, stability, wealth, and security. Look how happy they are. It's such a beautiful card. This is just like, you know, when you have that perfect day and everything just goes right and you're in flow with everybody and you're just laughing and you're just so grateful for the people in your space, and you just feel like there's nothing to worry about, and you have all your needs met, and you feel like you have a purpose in this life, and you feel understood by the people in your space, and you have this family energy, right? Is really what the empire that you have is this over this family, over this earthly material element of your life, the financial and the relationship aspect of your life is going really well. And we're going to use this card in our meditation to really visualize this and to see the gifts in dreaming of this 10 of Earth. So if you're like, oh, I don't have that right now, that's okay, right? We're working on the star. We're working on the dream. We're working on taking the next step towards the dream by using these 3 cards to really focus ourselves on how to get closer to our dreams. And so we will move the star card back over here. All right, and we are going to jump into our meditation. So close your eyes and allow your body to get comfortable. I invite you to take a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can go at your own pace, but breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. After you've completed your 3 breaths, return to a slow, steady breath. Inviting you to breathe just a little bit slower than you normally breathe on an everyday basis. So stay with your breath for a moment as you allow it to settle into a steady, rhythmic pace that's a little bit slower than your normal pace. The reason the breath is so very beautiful to use in meditation is because it's always happening right now. So as you focus on your inhale through the nose, your exhale out the mouth, keeping it a steady, relaxed, soothing breath, you're focusing on the present moment, what is happening right now in your body. The inhale, the exhale, the inhale, the exhale, the inhale, the exhale. This helps us prepare for our meditation, to prepare for this journey. If you notice your mind wandering, chatting about anything, trying to distract you, simply approach it with love. Say, oh, that's nice, mind. But we're going to heighten our awareness on our breath again. We're going to go back to focusing on our breathing. We're going to go back to focusing on these cards. We're going to go back to practicing our imagination and our awareness, being focused. And simply come back to focusing on your breathing. Expand your awareness out into your full body now. Being aware of the feelings and sensations in your body. These are things that are happening right now as well. Try not to judge what's happening in your body or analyze or try to change or make a plan for or whatever might come up. Just simply be like, oh, that feels like that. That feels like this. This feels like that. Being aware and curious about your body without getting too caught up in the stories we want to say about it or the things we need to do about it. Just sitting with your body and letting it be okay wherever it is. Wherever it is right now, in this moment, it's okay, body. I feel you. I'm aware of you, and I'm grateful for you. So I'm going to invite you now to focus your attention on the black space with your eyes closed and the blank space of your forehead. So just keep your eyes lifted a little bit, looking at that space of your forehead above the nose. Don't strain your eyes. Again, they're closed, but you're lifting them up a little bit to look at as if you could see through your forehead and out into the world. Just keeping your eyes focused here. This is your imagination center. So as we begin to imagine and sense and feel, we're going to be focused on this part. Even if you don't see things visually appearing right here where you're focused, this activates your imagination faculties, whatever they are, the senses, the smells, the feelings, the sights, the sounds, all of it. So I'm going to invite you now to see yourself in your spiritual practice. So whether that's you waking up in the morning and meditating, or you sitting outside in nature under a tree, or you praying, or going to church, whatever your spiritual practice is, allow yourself to see yourself doing it. If you don't have one now, allow yourself to be curious. Just visualize yourself doing something, anything. Allow it to come to you. Don't try to force it. See if you can ask just a question. What do I want to do to harness my spiritual gifts, to harness my relationship with the Spirit, my relationship with my intuition? So I'm just going to invite you to find that thing. It might be a series of things, multiple things. That's okay too. We're just going to sit with this king of water energy, this spiritual gifts, this harnessed spiritual gifts. Are you doing yoga? Are you writing in a journal? Are you reading a book? Are you going for a run? What is it? Allow yourself to see yourself activating and actively participating in these spiritual practices. This is a review for you. If you're already doing these things, it is a message to continue to do them, perhaps to amp them up just a bit. If you're not already engaged in these practices, the advice for this week, leading up to the quarter moon in Capricorn on the 12th, is to commit to whatever practice you're seeing, visualizing, and feeling right now. The King of Water also wants you to visualize a situation in which you normally act instinctively. They call it triggered. Perhaps it's when you're driving, perhaps it's when your boss does that thing, or your partner does that thing that drives you crazy, or somebody does that thing that they always do, that always pushes your buttons. The King of Water wants you to imagine yourself in one of those situations, any of them. Pick one. As you pick one, the King of Water wants you to imagine what it would look like for you to respond to that with love, compassion, peace, humility, stability, and wisdom. So go ahead and do that now. Imagine a situation in which you normally would act very instinctively in a way that you later would be like, oh man, I wish I didn't say that thing, or react that way, or bite it off that person's head, or flick that person off while driving, or road rage react. And see yourself, feel yourself, visualize, smell, hear the sounds, hear what your voice sounds like when it's acting from love, compassion, wisdom, stability. Feel what it feels like in your body to respond to the situation with wisdom, with support, with guidance, with love, humility, compassion. Now we're going to move to the Emperor. The Emperor wants you to focus on what your empire is. So see your empire as though you could see the entirety of what it is that you steward from like a bird's eye view. It's almost like you're a bird above some sort of map, or some sort of, or perhaps you have a map and you're not a bird, but you are above a bird's eye view of the entirety of your domain, your kingdom, your empire. Just figure out what that is for you, even if it's just your room or just your desk. Just visualize your empire. See it. And see like all the other empires that it interacts with, you know, the puzzle pieces, but really highlight your own empire, whatever that is for you. Or you might open your heart to whatever God, goddess, angel, guardian, ancestor, fairy, spirit guide, source, your higher self. You're opening your heart to whatever it is that you communicate with and to. And you're asking, is there anything else I need to know? And as soon as you ask that question, get real quiet and allow an answer to come, or just maintain sitting in curiosity, waiting for something to come. And when you're ready, I'm just going to invite you to start slowly bringing movement back into your hands, back into your feet, back into your body, keeping your eyes closed. As you stretch, as you move, as you start to come back, starting to be aware of the sounds, the sensations, the feelings, and the space around you. When you are ready, opening your eyes. coming out of the meditation. Journaling anything that you experienced, if that feels good and right to you. I am going to release the elements here, releasing water, releasing earth, releasing air, and releasing fire, giving thanks to these elements for being here in our meditation, in our reading. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.